Hi, it's Lee. Pretty comfy cozy here. I decided, I don't know if anyone's done this. I'll do it if I can. I'll try to do this. This is going to be my talking about as many of the Kiss songs as I can. Now, maybe with some of the albums, I might not know all of the songs. So I'll do as many as I can. I'm thinking I'll do as many as I can. I know pretty much all of them all the way up to Lick It Up. And so I'll okay, I'm going to rate, well, not rate, but talk about the songs. All right, the first Kiss album. Okay, Strutter. I think it's a good song. It might not be the very best Kiss song, but it's a pretty good song. I'd say it's one of their better songs. I like it. And then Nothing to Lose. I think that's a pretty cool song. I I think it's pretty happening. It's a song that you can hear at a party and enjoy. Firehouse, it's not a song that I would pick ordinarily to listen to on its own, but in the context of the first album, it's a decent song. I can listen to it in context with the album and like it. And then Cold Gin isn't really one of my favorites. It's not one that I really dislike, but it's basically it's one of the weaker tracks on the album, but I can still listen to it. And then Let Me Know is one of my favorite songs off of the album. I dig it. And then Kissin' Time is good. I think of it as kind of like a, a cheesy song, but kind of like a nice flavor to it. It works. I don't have anything against it. And then Deuce is a pretty cool song. That's a rockin' tune that I like. And then Love Theme from Kiss, I like it. I think it's a good song. I like the guitar part, and I like the interesting moments in it. I don't think it's a bad tune. And then 100,000 Years, yeah, quite good song. I think it's hip. And then Black Diamond, yeah, that's hot. I like the part where it slows down, you know, during the last part of the song, how it keeps slowing down. I like that a lot. That makes the song cool for me. Mhm. Now the second album, Harder Than Hell, got to choose. It's sort of like not that great. I mean, I don't absolutely hate it, but it's not really a song that I love. And then Parasite is cool. I mean, it's got a kind of a weird vibe to it. The 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 song is kind of a little bit out there, but it's all right. I still like it. It's one of the better songs off the album. And then Going Blind, I never really liked it that much. I know that there are people who dig it, and it's what it is, and what it is isn't my bag. And then the song Harder Than Hell, it's not horrible, it's not great, it's fine. I can listen to it. It's decent. And then Let Me Go Rock and Roll, I like that one a lot. I think that's a good song. And then All the Way, it's kind of like a happy, peppy kind of melodic vibe to it that it's fine. And then Watching You, it's a little bit less peppy, a little less happy, a little bit more eerie in a little way. But overall, it's fine too. It's not great, but it's decent. And then Mainline, not that great. It's one of the weaker songs off the album. I'm not a big fan of it. And then Coming Home, it's all right. It's halfway a good song and halfway just decent, but it's better than some of them. It's a all right song. I don't totally dislike it. And then Strange Ways, it's interesting. It's not as good as a lot of people think it is, but it's not bad. It's to me, it's up there with Mainline. It's all right, but not great. And then the next album, Dress to Kill. All right, I like the album. All right, now Room Service. I think of Room Service as being a really good song. I dig it a lot. I think it's really hip. And then the next song, Two Timer, it's alright. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's an alright second song. And then Ladies in Waiting is a little bit better, but it's still kind of iffy. It's not a great song, but it's alright. And then Getaway is a really quite good song. I like that one a lot. That one's one of my favorites on the album. And then Rock Bottom, I don't really care for the intro that Ace did. It's kind of long and doesn't really fit. I think it's kind of dull. But the song itself that Paul wrote, I think it's really good, and it's one of the better songs off the album. I like it a lot. And then Come On and Love Me, it's good. It's not as good as Room Service, but it is good, and it's a pretty good song. I like it. And then Anything for My Baby, that is as good as Room Service, and it's a pretty hot song, and I like it a lot. One of the better songs off the album. And then She, I don't love it. It's not completely horrible, but it's a filler song. It's better than Ace's intro to Rock Bottom, but it's not quite that good. It's about almost as good as Two Timer and Ladies in Waiting, but it's Gene's songs aren't my favorite on here. And then Love Her All I Can is one of my favorite songs from the album. It's hot and I like it. And then Rock and Roll All Night, that's a good song too. That's also one of my favorites on the album. That's the song that got me first into Kiss. And then when I saw that it was on this album, that was why I wanted to buy the album. So yeah, Rock and Roll All Night is a good song to me. And then I'm not going to do the songs off of Alive, because that's just the same songs. Except to say that some of the versions on Alive are pretty good. And some of them might be better than the original versions on albums, but it's still the same song, so I'm not going to talk about them. But I'll talk about the next studio album, which is Destroyer. Right. The first song is Detroit Rock City. Alright. That song is alright. I find it a little bit dramatic. I don't hate it. The beat's good, but I don't really think it's that great of a song. It's not as good as their early work. Right. Sorry. The next song, King of the Nighttime World, I like that a little bit better. I actually think that if Detroit Rock City was not on it, I think that King of the Nighttime World would have been a good album opener. Alright. God of Thunder. No, I don't really love that song. I think it's alright. I'll listen to it sometimes. It's not horrible, but it's not one of the better songs on the album. And Great Expectations is not good. It's like, it's one of those songs that you know that it fits the album with the theme, but it's like a ballad, and I don't really like the ballads. It's not my thing. Now, Flamin' Youth, that's good. That's a cool song. That's, to me, that would have been a good song to go after King of the Nighttime World as far as on the album is concerned. I think that's a good song. And then Sweet Pain, I love that song. That's one of my favorites on the album. That's quite good. I dig it. And then Shout Out Loud is also pretty good. That's a good song too. You know, with King of the Nighttime World and Flamin' Youth and Sweet Pain and Shout Out Loud, you would have a perfect side one. And then after that is Beth. Nah. Yuck. And then Do You Love Me, which is a good song. I think that if Do You Love Me was a track that was like extended track as far as only one song off of side 2, I would say that, you know, Destroyer would be a really good album if it only had King of the Nighttime World, Flaming Youth, Sweet Pain, Shout Out Loud, and Do You Love Me. In fact, those would be, if it was just those 5 songs off an album as being a half album, Destroyer would be a really good half album. So, yeah. Now, Rock and Roll Party, that's the thing that whenever you heard it, you try to figure out what Kiss was saying and you couldn't figure it out. Then when I found out what the lyrics were and I heard it, then I understood it. But it's not bad. I mean, I used to listen to it, but it's only just, Paul Stanley talking. And it's fine, but it's not really a song. And then the next album is Rock and Roll Over. All right, the song I Want You, that's cool. I like it. It's a good song. It's not the best song on the album, but it's good. I like it. And the same with Take Me. Maybe Take Me is a little bit better than I Want You, but they're both basically decent songs, but not the very best. They're all right. And then the next song will be Calling Dr. Love. That one is hot. That one's one of my favorites on the album. That's a good song. I like that. And then the next song is Ladies' Room. Ladies' Room is good. I like that. That's a good song. Pretty hot. And then the next song will be Baby Driver. That's good. I like that. That's one of the better songs on the album. Yeah. And then the next song is Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. Oh, that's great. I like that a lot. That's a good song. Mr. Speed. Mr. Speed is okay. It fits the album, and I won't skip it, but it's not one of the better songs. It's sort of like it's alright. And then See When You Dreams. That one's good. I like that one. That's a hot song. I think it's one of the better songs. And then Hard Luck Woman, it's like if it was a part of the party, it would be the song that I would ask to please leave the party. It's not one of the better songs. I don't really like it much. And then Making Love is a song that back in the day I thought it was probably the best song on the album. Now it's fine. It's good. It's better than Mr. Speed or Take Me. So it's almost one of the better songs on the album, but it's still good. It's almost up there with Calling Dr. Love. It's basically pretty much one of the better songs. Okay, now the next album is Love Gun. Okay. I want to say something. If to have the perfect Kiss album from the two kind of dud albums, you would have then for Destroyer, you would have King of the Nighttime World, Flaming Youth, Sweet Pain, Shout Out Loud, and Do You Love Me as side 1. And then on side 2, you would have Parasite and Harder Than Hell and Let Me Go, Rock and Roll, and All the Way, and Coming Home. And it wouldn't be a great album, but it would be, with those songs, it would be a decent Kiss album. It would be better than either Harder Than Hell or Destroyer. the way it was done. All right. Now for Love Gun. I Stole Your Love is a really good song. That's one of my favorites. And then Christine 16 is also really good. That's another song that I really like a lot. And so is Got Love for Sale. You've got 3 songs in a row that are really good. And then Shock Me, it's decent. It's not one of my favorites. It's all right. And then Tomorrow and Tonight, it's okay. It's about as good as Shock Me. It's not one of the better songs, but it's an okay song. It's not bad. And then Love Gun it's all right. It's decent. And then Hooligan is pretty good. It's maybe not as good as the very best songs on the album, but it's better than Love Gun. It's an okay song. And then Almost Human isn't my favorite. It's all right, but it's not great. And Plaster Caster, not good. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not one of my favorites. I don't really like it. And Then She Kissed Me, it's not bad. As a cover tune, it's okay. But it's not really one of the better songs on the album. Alright, then after Love Gun, I'm not really going to talk about the solo albums because, well, let's just say that they were interesting. That I remember going into the record store and seeing all 4 of them at once and thinking, wow, that's pretty overwhelming. So I'll leave it at that. I might do another video where I talk about all the songs on the solo albums. But I'm not going to do that now. And I'm also not going to talk about Kiss Alive 2, except to say that it was an okay album, and the songs were done basically as good as the songs on the studio album. But okay, I can talk about the songs off of side 4 because they were studio songs. I'll do that. All right. All American Man. That was a good song. I liked it. It was decent. And Rockin' in the USA is also pretty hot. That was a really good song, and I liked that one a lot. And then Larger Than Life wasn't bad. It was all right. I can listen to it and think it's an all right song. And then Rocket Ride is pretty damn good. That was one of the best songs off that side. And then Any Way You Want It, it's not that hot. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not good. Anyway, all right. Now for Dynasty. All right, I Was Made for Loving You. I liked that one. I thought that was a good song. It was kind of danceable and peppy and hip. I dig it. And then 2000 Men, I like that. That had a good groove to it. It's got a bit of a punch to it that I like. Sure Knows Something, not my thing. Little too glammy, glitzy for my taste. Not quite my thing. And then Easy Living, that one's good. That one was a hot song. That was kind of like Baby Driver, like the same brother of Baby Driver. And then Charisma, I thought that was a cool song. That's one of the better songs off the album. Then Magic Touch, I do like it sometimes. It's a decent song, but it's not one that I listen to a lot. It's like I have to be in the mood for it, but it's a good song. And then Hard Times, that's one of the better songs off the album. I really dig it a lot. I think that's good. Then X-Ray Eyes is not that great. It's all right, but actually I kind of like the idea of skipping it over listening to it. And then Save Your Love is really good. That's one of the better songs off the album. All right. Now, the next album will be Unmasked. Now, I don't know if I will, remember all of the songs in order. Because I think there's 11 songs. So if I don't get the exact order correct, don't worry, I'll try to remember all of the songs, and if I don't remember all of them, then whatever. Alright, Is That You? That was a cool song. That to me sounded like an interesting cover tune that's different than some of the other cover tunes that Kiss has done. It was alright. It was cool. And then Shandy, I never really liked Shandy. I thought it was like, yuck. And then Talk to Me, I liked that one. I thought that was a good song. I dug it quite a bit. And then Naked City, nah, that's not really my favorite. And then What Makes the World Go Round, yeah, that one was a good song. I liked it quite a bit. And then Tomorrow, I like that one. That's a good song. I dug it. I thought that was really cool. And then Two Sides of the Coin, that one was hot. I thought that was a good song. I liked it. It's one of the better songs on the album. In fact, one of my favorites. And then She's So European. I like that one too. That was one of the better songs off of it. And then Torpedo Girl, I like that one too. That one was really good. That was a hip song. One of my favorites. And then there seems to be a song that I missed. I don't know. Maybe not. But You're All That I Want, I don't like that one. I thought that was a bunch of crap. So let's see, there was Is That You, there was Shandy, there was Talk to Me, there was Naked City, and there was What Makes the World Go Round. So that was side 1. And then side 2, Tomorrow. And then, yeah, okay. I guess there were 10 songs off the album. If I'm not mistaken. Alright, if I missed one, then whatever song I missed might not be one that I liked much. Anyway, let's see, Yeah, okay. So the next album would be The Elder. Now, I remember it mostly from the original version. And so I don't know whether or not I'm going to get it correct as far as the new um, version of it with the songs the way that it was supposed to be. So I'll just do my best and talk about it as far as how I remember it and all the songs. So the first song, if I remember correctly, back in the day, was Just a Boy. That one, it was alright. It was a good song. Maybe I didn't love every single part of it, but I thought it was decent. I thought it was a good song. And then Fanfare was not much of anything. Not that I hated it, but it was a fanfare. It didn't do much. And then Darklight. Back in the day, I thought it was a decent song. I think it's all right. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad. It's a good song. And then Only You, that's one of my favorites on the album. One of the few that I think work as a song on its own. Then the next song would be Under the Rose. And that one was decent too. I like that one. That one's one of the better songs. Then side 2 had A World Without Heroes. That one I didn't really love. And then Mr. Blacko was okay, but it just seemed like it was sort of empty, like there needed to be more to it. But for what it was, it wasn't bad. It was all right. And then there was Escape from the Island, which it was good. It's one of the better jam tracks on it. But as a song, it's just sort of not much to it. But it rocked. So it's one of the better songs. And then Odyssey, oh, I can't stand that piece of crud. Not good. I don't love it at all. And then that was a good song. Decent. It's one of the better songs on the album. And then the last part, which was just monologue, it was all right. It not necessarily a song, but there's nothing bad about it. And then okay, Creatures of the Night. All right, the song Creatures of the Night, it's decent. It's not one of my favorite songs, but it's okay. I can listen to it and there's nothing really bad about it. Then the next song, Saint and Sinner, is a little bit better. It's still not fantastic, but it's not bad. It's decent enough. And then the next song, Keep Me Coming, is one of the better songs. I like that one a lot. That one's pretty good. And then the next song is, I think it's Rock and Roll Hell. And that one's all right. That one's not a bad song. That one's okay. And then Danger. Danger is a decent song. That's one of the better songs on the album. And then I Love It Loud, that one's pretty good. That one's one of the ones that I like a lot. One of the better songs on the album. And then I Still Love You. That I didn't really like much. I thought it was kind of like filler. And then Killer, that one was a good song. That's one of the better songs on the album. And War Machine is also pretty good. It's not quite as good as the very best songs on it, but it's still within the better songs. It's decent. Okay, now the next album will be Lick It Up. All right, Exciter. That's a pretty hot song. I like it a lot. Pretty damn good. And Not for the Innocent is also really hot. That's a hot song. I dig it. I think it's really neat. And then Lick It Up. I don't hate it. I think it's in context with the album, it works. It's maybe not a song that I'd listen to on its own unless I'm watching the video to see how bad they look in the video, which I have done. So yeah, I do that. And it's worth hearing. Not as good as the first two songs, but it's still decent. I'm not going to say that I dislike it. And then the next song, Young and Wasted, that's a pretty hot song. That's one of the better songs on the album. I like it. And then Gimme More, that one's also pretty hot. That's one of the better songs on the album. I really like it a lot. And then All Hell's Breaking Loose, that one's pretty damn good. I like it. I think it's really a hip song. And then A Million to One, it's good. It's maybe not as quite good as some of the others. It's about maybe as good as Lick It Up. Not as good as the very best, but it's still decent. And then I'm trying to think what the next. Oh yeah, Fits Like a Glove. That's a pretty hot song. I like it pretty much. And then Dance All Over Your Face. That one also I do like. It seems like the kind of song I might not like that much, but I actually do. I think it's one of the better songs. And then On the Eighth Day, that's the one song that's a little weak. I even prefer A Million to One and Look It Up over it. But it's not horrible. It's alright. But I think it could have been left off the album. And it would not have made the album worse. It would have made it better. But anyway. Now the next album is Animalize. Now I don't know if I remember all of the songs off of Animalize. I had the album back in the day. Let's see how far I can go. If I forget some of the songs, then sorry, we'll stop at Animalize. Even though, whatever. Alright, I've had enough. Into the Fire. That's an alright song. It's not the very best, but it's good. And, well, okay. I think the next song is Tears Are Falling. I'm not sure, but let's. It's either Tears Are Falling or Heaven's on Fire. I think it's probably Heaven's on Fire is the next song. That one I like. I don't love, but I like. And then the next song, Burn Bitch Burn. That one was cool. I think that maybe some of the words are kind of a little bit off-putting a little bit. But I think musically it's a decent song. And then while I I don't know if While the City's no that's from another side, like side 2, While the City Sleeps. So the next song is yeah I don't remember what the next song is, but yeah. So there you go. Those are the what I remember of the Kiss albums. Okay, so yeah, I could talk about other songs, but I'll talk about While the City Sleeps as a song, even though it's not on side 1. It's an alright song. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Okay, there you go. Those are the songs that I remember from Kiss albums. What I'll do is I'll later start with Animalize and do that proper, and then talk about all of the songs after I get the list. But anyway, we did from the first album all the way up to and including Lick It Up, which is pretty good for me, knowing that I'm kind of burping and yawning and not totally in my right clear-headed mind. I'm just doing this just to do it. But anyway, hey, if you like this video, fine. It's something to see. Anyway, take care, everybody. Bye.